Welcome. In this video, we'll show you how to use audio-visual equipment in a modernized courtroom. In this training, we will cover the following. We will provide a brief explanation of what courtroom modernization is, give you an overview of the equipment, list the available connection options, show you how to use the modern courtroom equipment to share content, provide examples of what to expect when presenting with LA Court Connect, share best practices for preparation and professionalism, and show you how to access training materials. What is courtroom modernization? For the purposes of this video, courtroom modernization refers to fully modernized courtrooms. These are courtrooms that have been upgraded with a centralized integrated audio and video system. However, there are other courtrooms that may only have some of the equipment and are only modernized as to audio technology. For a fully modernized courtroom, this includes counsel table monitors and additional equipment that we will cover shortly. It also provides enhanced image quality and improved audio during courtroom operations. This modernized technology benefits attorneys and self-represented litigants and allows them to easily share content from their devices to the courtroom. These upgrades are part of the court's ongoing initiative to maximize usability, efficiency, and access to justice. We will now provide a brief overview of some of the equipment you may encounter in a modernized courtroom. First are the counsel table monitors. There are two monitors located on counsel table, one for the plaintiff or petitioner and one for the defendant or respondent. An additional monitor is located at the witness stand. These monitors have touch capability and can be used for viewing shared content in the courtroom. Next are the courtroom's extra monitor, or large screen monitor. These are 1 to 2 large screens, up to 85 inches in size. This may vary based on location. These screens will display virtual hearings via LA Court Connect and any shared exhibits or evidence approved by the judicial officer. Next is the document camera. It is located at the center of counsel table and is operated by attorneys. It allows counsel to display objects or documents to the court, if permitted by the judicial officer. Items placed on the document camera can be shared on all the screens in the physical courtroom and with the remote participants via LACC. The document camera has a zoom scroll wheel to zoom in or out as needed. Last is the Courtroom panel. It is operated by the judicial officer and is located on the bench. It controls all the audio and video in the physical courtroom. Judicial officers have the ability to enable and disable equipment, as well as control the sharing and presentation of evidence. We just mentioned the Courtroom panel. From this panel, the judicial officer is able to control both the source from which the evidence will be shared and how the evidence will be shared and presented. Sharing, previewing, and viewing evidence are not automatic. It is approved and enabled by the judicial officer. The sources from which you are able to share and present evidence are the document camera, Counsel 1 HDMI, and Counsel 2 HDMI. On each counsel table, there is an HDMI cable to connect your laptop, which is the recommended connection option, and wireless share, which allows you to share your phone or laptop via a wireless connection. More details about these sources will be provided shortly. Once the source is connected and enabled by the judicial officer, then the decision will be made as to how this evidence will be shared, whether it is to preview the evidence or to share and present with all parties present. Throughout this video, it will be mentioned that evidence will be shared based on the share option selected by the judicial officer. These available share options are Preview, Full Screen, and View All. More details about these share options will be provided when we cover what to expect when presenting with LA Court Connect. So now that we have provided some information about the available connection options, we will show you how to use an HDMI cable to share and present evidence. The monitors on counsel tables come equipped with an HDMI cable to allow connectivity to an external device. To share or display the external device screen with the courtroom, connect the HDMI cable to the HDMI port on the external device. Note, if your computer does not have an HDMI port, please bring an HDMI adapter. The court will not provide one. Once the device is connected and the judicial officer has selected the corresponding source, the judicial officer can select to share a preview. The judicial officer will be able to see the preview on the second monitor on the bench. Counsel will see the preview on the touchscreen monitor on counsel table. The judicial officer will approve or deny the request to share with the courtroom. Upon approval, the judicial officer will enable the display of evidence to the physical courtroom and the remote participants. As a reminder, sharing and previewing evidence is not automatic. It must be enabled by the judicial officer. Now, we will show you how to use the document camera to share evidence. In order to use the document camera, the judicial officer will need to enable the connection first. Once enabled to use the document camera, pull the document camera arm ring gently upward. It will power on. Place the document you wish to share on the surface. The document will display based on the share option selected by the judicial officer. After you are done using the document camera, make sure to close it. To close the document camera, remove the document you shared from the surface. Pull the document camera ring gently downward. It will power off. We will now show you how to wirelessly connect various devices, including an Android phone, laptop, iPhone, and MacBook. Before you are able to start a wireless connection, the judicial officer will need to enable it. Then, counsel table monitors will display the information you need to wirelessly connect. In particular, the 4-digit PIN code you will need to connect. To connect on an Android phone, open Smart View or your phone's equivalent by swiping down on your screen to bring up the Quick Settings menu. Select Smart View. Select the Synapse Core Pro TV from the list. Select the one in your courtroom. The name displays on the upper left corner of the monitor screen. The connection window opens. Now enter the PIN, shown on the touchscreen monitor. The PIN will display in the top center of the monitor screen. Select Connect or Accept. The button may vary based on your device and operating system. Your device screen will display based on the share option selected by the judicial officer. To disconnect from screen share, swipe down on your screen and select Smart View again to turn it off. To wirelessly connect on your Windows laptop, press the Windows logo key and the letter K on your keyboard. The Connect or Cast window will display. The name of the window may vary based on your device and operating system. Click to select the Synapse Core Pro TV from the list. Select the one in your courtroom. The name displays on the upper left corner of the counsel table monitor screen. Enter the PIN, shown on the touchscreen monitor. The PIN will display in the top center of the monitor screen. Click Connect. Your laptop screen will display based on the share option selected by the judicial officer. To disconnect from screen share, press the Windows logo key and the letter K on your keyboard. The Connect or Cast window will display. The name of the window may vary based on your device and operating system. Click Disconnect. As a reminder, the recommended connection option for a laptop is to use an HDMI cable to connect, share, and present evidence. For an iPhone or a MacBook, before you can wirelessly share, you will first need to connect to the Wi-Fi provided by the court. After the judicial officer enables wireless share, the Synapse screen will display on the counsel table touchscreen monitor. In particular, the 8-digit Wi-Fi password you will need to connect to the Wi-Fi. To connect an iPhone to the Wi-Fi, access your Wi-Fi connections from your settings or control center. Select the Synapse Wi-Fi. Enter the 8-digit Wi-Fi password displayed in the top banner of the monitor. Select Join. It will show you are connected, but note that once connected to the Synapse Wi-Fi, you will no longer have an internet connection. To connect a MacBook to the Wi-Fi, click the Wi-Fi icon on the menu bar. Select the Synapse Wi-Fi. You may need to click other networks first to be able to view and select the Synapse Wi-Fi. Enter the 8-digit Wi-Fi password displayed in the top banner of the monitor. Click Join. It will show you are connected, but note that once connected to the Synapse Wi-Fi, you will no longer have an internet connection. After you have connected to the Wi-Fi, then you can connect your iPhone to wirelessly share. The counsel table monitors will continue to display the information you need to wirelessly connect and share. In particular, the 4-digit PIN code you will need to connect an iPhone to wirelessly share. First, swipe down to access the Control Center. Select Screen Mirroring. Select the Synapse Core Pro TV from the list. Select the one in your courtroom. The name displays on the top banner of the monitor screen. The connection window opens. Enter the 4-digit PIN shown on the touchscreen monitor. The PIN will display in the top center of the monitor screen. Select OK. It will show that you are connected. Your device screen will display based on the share option selected by the judicial officer. To disconnect from screen mirroring, swipe down on your screen and select Screen Mirroring again. Select Stop Mirroring to disconnect. To connect on your MacBook, click the Control Center icon on the menu bar. Click Screen Mirroring. Select the Synapse Core Pro TV from the list. Select the one in your courtroom. The name displays on the top banner of the monitor screen. Connection window opens. Enter the 4-digit PIN shown on the touchscreen monitor. The PIN will display in the top center of the monitor screen. It will auto-connect. If you see an additional screen mirroring dialog box, click Start Mirroring. Your device screen will display based on the share option selected by the judicial officer. To disconnect from screen mirroring, click the Control Center icon. On the menu bar, click Screen Mirroring. Click Stop Mirroring. As a reminder, the recommended connection option is to use an HDMI cable to connect, share, and present evidence from a laptop or MacBook with an adapter if needed. The touchscreen monitors on counsel table can be used to preview and view shared evidence, as well as view remote participants. The monitors can also be adjusted to lay flat. What displays on the monitors depends on what selections the judicial officer has enabled. Depending on the selections, you may also see a black screen with the court seal. You also have the ability to make annotations using these monitors that will not be covered in this training video. However, at the end of this training, we will provide links to training materials that cover annotation. As a reminder, previewing, sharing, and presenting evidence is not automatic. It is approved and enabled by the judicial officer. Now, we will show you what to expect when sharing and presenting evidence in conjunction with LA Court Connect, or LACC. If there are remote participants via LACC and evidence is being shared, what the screens display and what each participant sees is based on the options enabled by the judicial officer. If evidence is being previewed, it will display on the judicial officer's second monitor and counsel table monitors only. Here is an example of what the different screens will display and what each participant may see. As you can see, the counsel table monitors will display a preview of the shared evidence. The judicial officer will also see a preview of the evidence for participants or other parties in the courtroom. The large screen in the courtroom will only display the LACC team session, but not display any evidence. For remote participants, their screens will also only display the LACC team session, but not display the evidence being previewed. If the judicial officer allows for the evidence to be shared and presented with all the participants, they may enable the evidence to display in full screen. When enabled, the evidence will appear on all displays and monitors in the physical and virtual courtroom. The counsel table monitors will display a full screen of the shared evidence. The judicial officer will also see a full screen of the shared evidence for participants or other parties in the courtroom. The large screen in the courtroom will display a full screen of the shared evidence as well. For remote participants, the square that previously displayed the view from the courtroom cameras will display the shared evidence only. Another option the judicial officer may enable is for the evidence and the LACC session to be displayed at the same time. If this option is enabled, the evidence will be presented in a split screen with the evidence on one side and remote participants via LACC on the other. The counsel table monitors will display the shared evidence on the left and the remote participants, or LACC, on the right. The judicial officer will also see the shared evidence on the left and the remote participants, or LACC, on the right. For participants or other parties in the courtroom, the large screen in the courtroom will display the shared evidence on the left and the remote participants, or LACC, on the right. For remote participants, the square that previously displayed the view from the courtroom cameras will display the shared evidence in the majority of the square, and will display the view from the courtroom cameras across the top of the square. Here are some tips and best practices for preparation and professionalism in modernized courtrooms. Check with the judicial officer and judicial assistant first. Then, if able to, visit the courtroom in advance to test the setup and equipment. Hide private information or change screen backgrounds before sharing to avoid displaying unintended or sensitive material. Bring backup copies of all the evidence you wish to present, just in case. Bring hard copies. Bring a thumb drive or flash drive with digital copies of everything to use on a backup device. Bring all connectors and cables necessary to connect to courtroom equipment. If your computer does not have an HDMI port, bring an HDMI adapter. The court does not provide these. Close the document camera when you are done presenting. If it is the judicial officer's preference to receive and present evidence via their computer, submit exhibits electronically to the courtroom ahead of time. Confirm the judicial officer's preference ahead of time. Now, we will show you how to access additional materials. If you would like to access additional training materials, such as the following quick reference guides: sharing content using modernized courtroom equipment, how to annotate using the modernized courtroom monitors, or modernized courtroom equipment best practices, please scan the QR code on the screen to go directly to the Documents menu. Proceed to the Attorney portal at the following website, https://my.lacourt.org/attorney/. Links to the quick reference guides are available from the Help Center links panel on the left in the Courtroom Modernization section. In addition to the quick reference guides, the Courtroom Modernization banner, located to the right, under the Court Resources section, provides a quick, easy-to-read summary of courtroom modernization. Thank you for watching this training video. By learning this information in advance, you're helping make a better court experience for all.